There's a guy you know right now. He isn't 100% confident. His heart spikes a little when someone says, "I don't think that's right." He replays conversations in his head all the time, but in the last few weeks, he's slightly changed the way he speaks. And now, confrontations with people don't scare him anymore. Today, I'm going to show you exactly what you should say when someone challenges you, and we're going to follow one guy. His name is Kyle. And no, Kyle isn't special. Kyle doesn't win every argument. He gets defensive sometimes, especially with his family. He's a bit sad when things don't go his way. He's not the loudest person in the room, and never has been. He still feels a little embarrassed when he doesn't get it right for the first time. But Kyle has decided to get better at handling when someone pushes back on him. The first thing Kyle did was that he didn't answer right away. He realized that you don't get points for answering fast, but you do for saying the right thing. When someone challenges you, your brain decides whether to fight, freeze, or fold in under a fifth of a second before the logical part of your brain has even caught up. That fast defensive answer almost everyone gives. The, "well, actually," followed by the over-explaining. That's not your best thinking, that's your panic reaction. So Kyle just lets a few seconds, or even a minute pass, before he says anything. During this time, he collects his thoughts and memories, and nobody rushes him either. A pause like that doesn't read as weak. It reads as someone wise choosing their words. The second thing Kyle did is he reversed the challenge instead of defending himself. When his manager said, "I don't think this is going to work," old Kyle would have launched into a small rant with 5 reasons nobody asked for, explaining himself. New Kyle just says, "I'm certain about this, but I'm curious. What makes you question it?" And the entire weight of the conversation flips. Now, the other person has to actually produce a reason. Half the time, they don't have one, or they just rely on instinct or something they heard, which makes them look dumb. In the other half, they actually raise a valid point. In which case, Kyle thanks them for the explanation and moves on. In both cases, Kyle has won. Either he successfully pushed back on the challenger, or he learned something he didn't originally think of. The third thing Kyle did is that he agreed with parts of it before defending the rest. Before, he would instantly start explaining himself, without giving any ground to his challenger. He realizes that this, weirdly enough, made him look weaker, because he looks like someone too insecure to even give an inch. So Kyle does the opposite, on purpose. You're right that the timeline is tight, but I still think the approach is solid. Giving up one small inch buys him credibility on the part he's not giving up. People who never concede a single thing don't read as confident. They read as someone protecting their ego, not their actual position. The fourth thing Kyle did is that he called it out when someone's clearly not arguing in good faith. Not every challenge is real. Sometimes it's just a coworker who likes being the smartest person in the room and needs an audience to prove it. Kyle's gotten good at spotting the difference. When it's obviously a power move, he just says it. Feels like you're testing this more than actually disagreeing with it. What's the real concern? That one sentence usually ends the act on the spot because people performing disagreement almost never have an answer for being called on it directly. The fifth thing Kyle learned is to stop talking after he's said his piece. He learned this after asking a very valid question in a meeting, but when nobody answered in 2 seconds, he just kept talking to fill the silence. Explaining, justifying his position. He realized that this killed his moment. It just let his challenger off the hook completely. Instead of answering the questions, they got to argue with whatever Kyle said next, and the original point never got addressed. Now, Kyle asks his question, then just waits. People reveal a lot more when they're given room to fill the silence themselves than when you fill it for them out of nerves. The last thing that changed Kyle's attitude is that he realized that he has to change his mind sometimes. He used to treat every challenge like an attack, no matter what, and because of this, he didn't come across as someone confident. He came across as someone uncertain. Kyle changes his position maybe twice for every 10 challenge. That's exactly why the other 8 times people actually believe him. His certainty means something now because it's actually been tested. A few weeks into this, people around Kyle have already started challenging him a lot more carefully. Not because he's intimidating, because challenging him now actually takes some thought. Because Kyle doesn't burn himself immediately. He instead does this. He doesn't answer right away. He waits a bit to collect his thoughts. Reverses the challenge by asking, "What makes you question this?" making the challenger have to explain themselves. Agrees with the fair parts of a challenge, making him more credible by not disagreeing to everything. Calls out arguments not made in good faith. Exposing intent, which is not constructive. Stops talking after asking a good question to make sure all his points are addressed. And lastly, he considers and agrees with others' opinions sometimes, as he realizes that there is more than one way to achieve something. So, next time someone challenges you, in a meeting, in a group chat, at your own dinner table, what will you do? Answer fast and sound rattled? Or take a few seconds, ask one real question, and make them do the work instead? Subscribe for more. It's free.